McDowell. I'm Adam Unger.
And I'm not Vinny Carone or Hayden Love. I'm Tom Kerner, and this is the Trojan Blitz,
A sports highlight show produced by the students that covers the students, made for the students.
On this episode, we have the McDowell and Prep boys basketball game and an interview with McDowell girls diver Ivory Snyder.
McDowell Trojans basketball team taking on the strong Vincent Colonels at home. Early action. Andrew Strominger on the drive. Splits three defenders for the layup. Later on, Jake Tarasovich off the loose ball also drives in. Zone defense not working early for the Colonels. Lots of points in the paint for the Trojans. However, Quinn Lewis able to find Luke Stahl from outside. Three-pointer, and he drains it. Trojan top 5 nominee here. Andrew Strominger goes behind the back for Dylan Dirkmat underneath. Moving ahead to the second half, Trojans came out a little flat as they allow some points inside for Kyle Pointer. He led the way for Strong Vincent with 20 on the night. However, McDowell would not let them get back into the game as Stroke works in for the layup. No good there. Dirk cleans up for him. Next McDowell possession. Sox taking it from the key. Finds Quinn Lewis, who finds Dirk down low. Dirkmat had 22 as he finds Max Kerr going coast to coast as the Trojans win 74-68.
The boys basketball team took on Central Tech on the road and came away with a tight 61-56 win. They wrap up their season at home Friday, February 13th against those Central Falcons.
The girls basketball team came away with a big win against the Erie City School District as well. They laid down the law against Strong Vincent 68-29.
The swimming and diving teams took down Meadville on January 29th. The women came away with a 106-68 win, and the men won 117-60.
As for National Signing Day, Chris Larson signed with Slippery Rock University, Jake Tarasovich signed with Mercyhurst University, and Mariah Elwell signed with Gannon University. That's all we've got for the McDowell Minute. Now let's take you over to the Trojan Talk team against Thomas Jefferson.
Trojans taking on the Jaguars. Let's take you right ahead to first period action. Jags up 1-0. Brady Parkinson carries it down the left wing, pulls it into the office, throws it in front, runs into traffic, but Dominic Tamburi with the backhand for the goal. Jags took a 2-0 lead into the second period. Here, Michael Krieger able to find his brother Matthew, gives him a breakaway opportunity as he puts it top shelf. Other end of the ice, Jake King on the faceoff win, Dustin Bond. King able to put home the rebound. Moving ahead to the third period, a lot more goals scored here than the first two. Here, Alex Hodes brings it down the wing, Trojan top 5 nominee. Cross ice pass to Vinny Delacurti at the blue line, and a blast goes top shelf. Other end of the ice, the brothers find each other again as this time Matthew finds Michael for the shot from the point. Other end of the ice, Dan Smith takes it into the office, tries on the wraparound, no luck, but John Burt finds the rebound. The Krieger brothers wouldn't let the Jags relinquish a lead as Matthew scores his third of the game. Hat-trick leads the Jags past the Trojans 8-4.
Up next, the McDowell men and women swimming and diving teams taking on the Warren Dragons. Both the men and women got off the block quickly and came away with huge wins. Moving ahead to diving, junior diver Ivory Snyder, along with freshman diver Kessa Zaks and fellow freshman Milan Stefanelli, all perform well and come away victorious, landing some impressive dives. Both teams blew the Dragons out of the water as the girls win 112-71 and the men win 124-56. Welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm here with Ivory Snyder, junior McDowell diver for the McDowell girls diving team. How's it going, Ivory?
Going great.
So what is your off season like as a diver? Like, how do you prepare yourself for the actual season?
During the off season, we mostly just practice with our coaches for a couple days a week and go over our easier dives. And then during the season is when we start doing our harder dives. But the off season's more just technique. And,
okay.
Yeah.
Where do you practice? Like, where do you find the pools and like the open time to practice like that?
A lot at Barron and then McDowell when it's not drained in the summer. Sometimes Gannon.
Okay. What kind of mentality do you have to have as a diver? Like, what does it take as far as focus and as far as preparation to be successful with every little detail as a diver?
Well, diving's mostly it's a mental sport, not a physical sport. So it's almost all mental. You really need to repeat what you need to work on in your head, which is why during meets, it's expected to be completely quiet during diving.
Okay. What kind of pre-dive routine do you go through, and like, do you have something that kind of gets you in your own zone, or what do you do?
Well, before meets, we practice all of our dives, and then in between, after our practice in diving, they're swimming, so I mostly listen to like my favorite music and just work on relaxing myself a lot and just visualizing the dives in my head.
So what's your favorite routine that you do? What's your favorite dive, and how do you do it?
My favorite dive is the 1.5-1. That's 1.5 somersaults with 1 twist. It's really fun because you do a summy right off the board and then you crank it out for a full twist and then dunk it in. It's all over the place. You use all your skills in one dive.
How do you stay so like mentally oriented, spinning and flipping all through the air like that? How do you keep yourself kind of organized?
Well, at first when you learn a new dive, you're not mentally oriented at all. You don't know where you are. It's just something that comes with time and body memorization, muscle memorization, all that. It just comes.
Huh. That's interesting. All right. Well, thank you, Ivory. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having
me.
me.
And that is Trojan Talk.
Senior night for the swimmers and divers against Mercyhurst Prep. From left, we've got Jenna DePlacido, Abby Spiker, Isabel Vieira, Mary Wassel, Jessica Colley, Emma Springer, Abby Cashone, Carrie Bem, Taylor Brown, Alex Chador, Craig Ferrante, and Jacob Jones. The Mercyhurst Prep Lakers seemed like they couldn't come up for air in the women's medley relay. However, in the men's freestyle, photo finish here, Mercyhurst Prep Lakers saying we aren't going away as the Trojans only win by 0.18 of a second. Trojan Top 5 nominee from interviewee Ivory Snyder as she goes for the double backflip dive and lands it. Both the women and the men came out strong in their 50-meter freestyles after the diving portion of the meet, as the women take first, second, and fourth, and the men take first, third, and fourth. Your final score is the Mercyhurst Prep Lakers fall. The women win 115-65, and the men win 119-64.
And now for the big game of the week as the McDowell Trojans take on the Prep Ramblers in the crosstown rivalry at Gannon's Hammermill Center. McDowell mob showing up in full force again, as always. Great support for their Trojans. Early in the first half, we have a Trojan Top 5 nominee from Quinn Lewis with the no-look backdoor feed to Justin Blake for the layup. Good ball movement from the Ramblers, however, finds Joe Fustine in the corner for a wide-open 3. Quinn Lewis continues to be sharp with his passing, channeling his inner CP3 and finding Dylan Dirkmat on the pick and roll. Next time down the floor, Quinn Lewis catches the Ramblers sleeping with a great bullet pass to Dirk, who goes up and finishes strong. But the real star of this game was Max Kerr, who, after surveying the defense, decides to jack up this 3 and nails it. Prep keeps on fighting back as freshman Jaron Simpson gets in the game and finishes with a driving floater in the lane. But Max Kerr answers back with a long bomb of his own and ties the game going into halftime at 16 apiece. On to the second half now. We start with the Trojans as Andrew Strominger finally gets onto the scorer sheet with this pull-up 3 from the left side. Kerr finds Dirkmat, who continues to be a force on the inside with his strong finish. Prep tries to stay in the game as their senior leader, Matt Kolpois, hits a deep 3 from the left wing. But the Trojans went on a run to open the game up in the second half as Max Kerr continues his hot shooting with this bomb off the Dirkmat assist. Another Trojan Top 5 nominee comes from this game as McDowell patience on offense leads to a backdoor cut and a fantastic finish from Max Kerr using a little English off the glass. Kolpois tries to keep the Ramblers in the game with another 3, but it's too little too late for Prep as McDowell would go on to win this one by a final score of 46-38.
Now let's end this with the Trojan Top 5.
Number 5 play coming from the water is our interviewee Ivory Snyder with the strong sauce. Double backflip for the win against Mercyhurst Prep.
Our number 4 play comes from the hardwood as McDowell's maestro Quinn Lewis with the sweet dish to Justin Blake for the finish.
Staying at the Hammermill for the number 3 play as Max Kerr cuts and that boy ate his spicy chicken patty.
The number 2 play comes from the frozen pond as McDowell's Vinny Delacurti gets this cross ice pass and fires a rocket top shelf where Mama hides the Thin Mints.
And your number 1 play coming from Andy Strominger with a behind the back pass to Dylan Dirkmat, who put up 22 against the strong Vincent Colonel.
That's all we've got for the Trojan Blitz. For Tom Kerner, I'm Adam Unger.
See you next time, McDowell.